Smile to Death. This is chapter 5. I'm recording these chapters during a very complicated period here in Israel. This is November 2nd. You know, the dates are really blurry these days because we are so preoccupied with the things that are going on with our country and all the massive violent changes, also related very much to life and death. And actually, I thought of creating this program months ago, but this plan, I guess I kind of forgot about it, and other things became more important. But once this conflict, this massive conflict began, I realized that this is the time. This is the time, and it became more and more important, more urgent to create this program, Smile to Death. Because I believe that we live in a huge misunderstanding. I may even call it kind of deception regarding the way we relate to life and death, the fear that we keep on cultivating due to ignorance, and I don't know due to what other stuff. This fear, this ignorance is crucial to the way we are living now, and of course to many crazy situations in which people find themselves fighting each other, killing each other, and not always knowing why, and not knowing that there is another way, not just peace, but there is a substantial way of living once you stop fearing death, once the fear of death doesn't motivate you that much, once you're able to smile to death and realize that the space, that the existence of space is there with you, beside you, part of you, something that you can communicate with, something that keeps on communicating with you without your knowledge, something that gives huge significance to your very existence right now, something that it is a part of everything that exists, a very important, relevant part. As long as this part of the truth of existence is hidden, I think that many things in the individual as well as civilization life are twisted, are even manipulated, and people don't realize this way their natural force to create, to influence, to determine how their life will be and how their life will improve and how they can stop negative things like unnecessary violence and big conflicts. This is why I'm here. And now I'm going to chapter 5. It was very important for me to make this introduction because I believe it is very well connected. The conflict that is going on here in Israel, Israel and Gaza, Israel and Palestinians, life and death, and the ability of human being to take a look at this space that usually is out there waiting for us in the end of our lives. And I'm saying, no, it's not waiting for you. It's part of you. And it's there with you right now. And you should be working with it instead of making walls between you and this part. So, chapter 5 is the second chapter, second lesson of part 2 that asks the question, why are we so scared, so afraid of death? This may sound a trivial question, but I think this is a part of the deception. And this is what chapter 5 is talking about. We are afraid of ourselves, and this is why we fear death. There are many ways to approach this sentence, this title. We are afraid of ourselves, and therefore we fear death. Deep inside, I believe we know it. That we are bigger, much bigger than what we used to think about ourselves. Understanding that we are here and we are also there now, that everything we are doing here has a huge influence on larger spaces in the universe, larger spaces that we may regard as the spaces of death. It is actually a place of lots of living and maybe things that are far more important than the dramas that I'm here living in. Not knowing this or fearing this idea makes, of course, a huge contribution to fearing death. Fearing death is fearing knowing. Is fearing realizing our greatness, the same as Nelson Mandela said from the prison. The real fear individual has is from his own greatness. And if understanding or approaching or smiling to death means realizing our true greatness, which create a fundamental cognitive dissonance for the question, for the fact that, why am I here? Why the hell am I here if I'm so big and great and eternal and divine actually? If I'm here and I'm in death, if death is actually being with God, let's say, why should I be here? It is very painful to realize this. I think even impossible, because it is so painful to realize two things. That I am much bigger and that I am here as a result of decision to experience all the pain and suffering and conflicts and problems related to being here, and even to being here ignorant from the bigger picture. So I prefer not knowing. I prefer staying addicted to the current dramas. I prefer fearing me. I prefer fearing the possibility that I am endless, that nothing can stop my existence, even if I'm dying. There is no option for me not to be, actually. Realizing this raises many questions about why should I be here now? What is my role here? Why do I need all this hardship? Can I be here, a human being, mortal creature, with all these questions and problems and pains here? Can I be here and at the same time realize my greatness? And at the same time realize that I'm far beyond what I'm here? It's almost impossible. And I think this is the main reason for being here in this program. to create a new kind of living that honors the fact that two parallel kinds of existence coexist, dependent on each other, influence each other, nurture each other. Yes, I also nurture my divine part. This is why I'm here. It's not easy to accept this idea that my very existence, my choices, the places where I'm making a brave decisions, it is important for me to make real change with all the risks. Once I'm doing this, I'm making a great influence to the death space in which part of me is already there. Actually, I am the part, and this is more the whole. It's not easy. It's not easy to grasp this. But I think that once we do it, and once we, let's say, start living accordingly this way, our whole existence changes. And the possibility of involving love and creativity here and now will rise dramatically. Because love and creativity and other good stuff are things that I always get from there. I can get from there once I develop. I have this permission to put more love and creativity here once I'm open to this connection. So, this is just one of the benefits. This is chapter 5. We are not fearing death as much we are fearing ourselves, and we are fearing the truth. If we are open to this kind of truth, and I'm not saying that I am telling the truth. This is a story I believe exists. If it resonates good in your heart, we can continue. You need to decide if this sounds like truth. You won't read it in any book. You won't get any, I would say it, any authorization, no, any approval from any authority that I'm saying the truth. It's only your heart is saying, well, I want to listen more for this or not. But if you want to listen, if you want to watch, if you want to go through this change, I give you this option to consider. This kind of fear of death is not real. It's an illusion. The real fear of us here, human being, is realizing the bigger picture. Realizing once we are not afraid of this, I think many, many beautiful doors will open up and our life will change forever.